I was in a very bad shape when I was in college. I used to absolutely not pay attention to my health. I sort of have something similar as well.
Hello everyone. Today we have with us Venkatesh. I got to know him from a common friend Kiran from Gokte Institute of Technology, where he also graduated from. And he secured the highest on-campus placement for his last year in 2023 at Palo Alto Networks for about 50 LPA package. I let him give the breakdown along with his brief introduction. Hi Venkatesh, welcome.
Hi Shashank. Thank you so much for calling me on your podcast. Well, my name is Venkatesh Songhi. I completed my bachelor's degree in computer science from KLS Gokte Institute of Technology. And my hobbies are gaming, watching anime, playing cricket, and things like that. I had two on-campus offers, one by Redbus and one at Palo Alto Networks. Obviously, I went ahead with Palo Alto Networks, and the package was like of 50 LPA. The breakdown will be very surprising to you guys because we had like a base of about 50, and we had a sign-on bonus of 5 lakh rupees, and the rest is like bonus and stocks. So, yeah.
Thanks for sharing the breakdown, right? Like many people go with a different expectation and turns out they get disappointed. But this is very common.
Yeah.
You should know it's not just like this one company everywhere. This is the way they do it. They club every stocks for all the 4 years and joining bonus and give the package.
I know, right? It sells big dreams when you see like these big numbers like 50, 60, and 80, and then when you see the actual base for freshers, it's like very disappointing.
Definitely a industry top tier package and experience and company wise. That's also something we have to see, not only the numbers and money, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, like we'll start with what the audience came here. We'll deliver how was your experience interviewing with Palo Alto Networks.
And then you came to our college for hiring of a Salesforce engineer. And currently, I work as a Salesforce developer in Palo Alto Networks. And initially, what happened is we had an online round. It was like standard aptitude questions followed by, so there were like 2 rounds online. One was aptitude and one was coding. The coding round was surprisingly, simple. They didn't keep any complex problems. There was mostly based on like arrays and strings. And it was pretty easily doable. Anybody who even knows the concepts of arrays and strings. And there were about 100 students who appeared for the placement, and they shortlisted some 50, 20 students from these for the interview rounds. And in my first interview round, it was for about 40, 45 minutes. And I was asked mainly questions on Salesforce. He didn't focus on my projects, or he didn't focus on other questions. He did ask me to like give a brief overview about myself and things like that. What he did was mostly test my knowledge in Salesforce. And
just to add on that, so as we had discussed that, like you have a dedicated course in your college where you take Salesforce, and only those people are eligible for this. So that's why they ask you on the Salesforce part.
Correct. Salesforce is an elective which we have to like pick in our third year. And only students who have opted in for this elective, and also there's a criteria for score. I think there was a minimum CGPA required in that subject, 8.5, I guess. And if you have this, only then you are eligible to appear for this placement. So I was eligible, and there were mostly questions about what is Salesforce, typing components, or all these things happen to come in Salesforce. So I was able to pretty much answer most of these questions. There were some questions on version control and things like that. And yeah, that was like the first round. It went really good. The interviewer gave me a heads up. He was like, okay, in next 15 minutes, you're going to have the next round. But, and he kind of promised unofficially. After the first round, I was like pretty confident that, okay, I'm in a good form. I have to keep on going. And the second round went on for like a longer duration. I think more than 45 minutes. I don't recall exactly. And here, I was grilled on everything I had in my resume. From each project, from each skill that I had mentioned, like REST APIs, AJAX, and whatnot. So it went on for quite a while, and every question I answer is going to keep on digging in more, and like it's gonna further ask me like, why this, why that. He did also ask me a little bit about Salesforce. There was like a basic, behavioral question, and that was pretty much it. After 2 to 3 weeks, there was a list release, and that is how we got to know that these are the people selected, and they hired like 5 students from our college.
5 students, okay. So, like,
Yes.
do you know the numbers approximately? How many people made it across the first and second round?
I think I do. Initially, we were like 15 people, 15 to 20 people, I remember, for the first round. And by the time we came to like the last round, there were, I think, 9 to 10 people.
Hmm. Okay,
So
I think so.
decided
Many
that,
people got shortlisted in the online round itself.
yes, yes. A lot of people did get shortlisted in the online round.
Yeah, so thanks for sharing the brief interview experience. So now we have pre-planned some question and answers that we'll go through. Some myth busters. So many people worry a lot about things that are not required to be worried, and we worry less about the things that are actually important. So going one by one, what are the things like CGPA, or whether what kind of programming language to choose? So what do you suggest?
Okay, so first of all, I will tell you that CGPA does matter. Uh, at least if you're targeting, top company, top MLP, they will have a bar set to differentiate you from other students. Because we are all used in number, right? Engineers. There has to be some criteria to like do some initial filtering. So I would suggest that do maintain a good CGPA. 8, 8.5 is a decent CGPA. So CGPA is important. And speaking of picking a programming language, now you can, generally what I suggest is you be good in, 2, 3 languages and be like very, very good in one language. It can be C++, Java, Python, whichever you feel is interesting and the frameworks are, fun to work with. You be very good at that language. And you should, of course, even know the other 2 languages. So that is what I recommend. If you're trying to do CP, C++ is a language that you must be very good at. So, yeah.
So like CP is short for competitive programming, like it's basically using DSA to solve contests in code forces and code chef. Yeah. So that's also one career path. So that's like people, especially focusing on off campus, they focus more on DSA and competitive programming. So that's the path I chose actually. I thought like, okay, development I'll do limited and focus more on DSA and competitive programming. Yeah. So, and just to add on to answer from Venkatesh, regarding CGPA, when I get asked, people like say they want to say like they will figure out and try to do everything else good in their portfolio, like maybe projects or being DSA. But CGPA, they are not that interested. Maybe they have some fear of exams or something. I don't know. Like if you are able to put so much effort into actually getting into clearing the interview, right? You should be able to get some decent CGPA. It's not like we studied a lot for exams. Like we had spent most of our engineering in doing some practical interview related preparation. And just before exams only, we took our time for getting some decent CGPA. So it should be doable without wasting too much time on academics.
Right, pretty much doable. If you, so what I used to do, to like maintain a decent CGPA, whenever I used to attend classes, I used to make sure I listen thoroughly what is going on, so that I don't have to go back home and like sit understanding what is going on. I'll just a couple of days before exam start, I'm just gonna revise through and I'm gonna just give my exam and do my best. So that is how I try to maintain my CGPA.
Coming to the more important question, people are always confused with how important DSA is or development is or theory subjects, how to balance all of these, so many exams and all that. So how did you balance and how much weightage do you give to different options?
This comes a lot, right? We don't know like what to do DSA. Even today, you and I sometimes we consider, okay, why continuing DSA or that? So it's pretty simple. This is how things work, right? Most of the time, if you are trying to target an MNC, like a top MNC, bank or whatever, they will ask you DSA. Freshers will be asked questions on DSA, and in that aspect, your DSA is very, very important. 60, 70%, 80% is that important. You need to also be good at this. It cannot be like you only can solve problems. Given a problem, you have an optimal solution, sure. But end of the day, you're going to be writing applications, websites, or APIs or whatever. So you need to also have a decent understanding of how dev works. Now, if you don't want to target MNCs, if you want to work at startups, then you need to have a solid dev portfolio. Have a couple of contributions in open source maybe, and do a lot of projects, attend hackathons, have a solid dev portfolio. Along with that, have a decent understanding of DSA. You need not be like a very professional or like a pro at DSA, but know a little bit of DSA. And that is how you can kind of have a balance. Speaking of your academic concepts, these are very important for your on-campus placements. Because companies that come on campus, they only expect you to know your college syllabus. They don't expect you to have a work experience. They know you are students. You are 4 years student. You don't have any work experience. What do you know? You only know your academic concepts. So they will ask you questions on academic concepts like your object-oriented programming, your databases, your company network, operating systems, whatever the company is looking for, right? Different companies work on different technologies. So if it is a database company, they'll ask you questions on Hoops and DB. The networking company will ask you questions on OS and networking. So you need to be having a decent understanding about the fundamentals of how these things work if you're trying on campus.
Got it. So just a follow-up question on that. So just when you figure out how to balance this stuff, someone from maybe some course selling guy will come and tell AI is the next big thing, blockchain is the future. You have to do this only. And people get again confused. Oh, should I continue this fundamental things or do this future ready things?
It's true, right? I mean, I must say that I was kind of victim about this thing. You're expected to know these buzzwords and you add them in your resume. And what I would tell is whenever something like this comes up, explore it. See what is happening. Spend a couple of hours or maybe a couple of days, maybe some weeks. And if you like it, if you're losing track of time while doing it, then maybe that is your thing. But if you're not liking it, if you're just doing it because, okay, this is the trend, I must do it. Okay, I must do 1 hour. Then it's not for you. It's not for you. Then maybe try something else. Okay, tried AI now, you maybe check blockchain or check out cloud computing. Whatever. So if you are doing something and if you're losing track of time while doing it, then you like it. Otherwise, you're just doing it out of force. So that is how you can stay on track.
Right. So yeah, I think you said it very well. Like as long as we fixate on that, okay, this is my thing. I can see myself as a blockchain developer or a data scientist or AI developer. Then they can definitely go in depth in that. But if they see going with the wind, like, okay, this is the next trend, I'll go with this. Cybersecurity is the next trend, I'll go with that. Then maybe they'll end up nowhere, right?
It's very difficult. They cannot do everything. It is good to know everything, but you have to be very good at least one thing.
Yeah. So these are some kind of, myth busters usually juniors ask. And other than that, usually juniors or students are having 1 day before or 1 week before interview, they call and say, Bhaiya, I'm worried about that. I'm confused about this. What should I do? What is the most common question that you get asked about?
Okay. So yeah, what generally I get asked is, okay, what are they going to ask? How difficult will the interview be? And what can I do to prepare? So first of all, there isn't like, you cannot cover everything in just 1 week. So what you can do is, first of all, I suggest do not rely on just only preparation, starting preparation as early as you can. Over the time, you will be prepared for it. Although if because of unforeseen circumstances, you could not do it and you just have 1 week, you need to understand and study like what kind of questions are being asked in these interviews. You want to reach out to your seniors who ask you in these interviews and try to understand what are the key concepts they ask. And in that 1 week, you will have to sacrifice a lot of things and try to thoroughly understand not everything, but at least 50% of the things you do it and you do it good. Some things you don't know, it is fine, but what you know, you should know properly. So do that. Understand the key concepts. Learn as much as you can. And on the day of interview, you want to be calm. Do your best because end of the day, the person who will be interviewing you is going to be a human itself. They're not going to be like some outer space aliens. So you just have to be calm and do your best.
Coming to resume, what do you suggest there?
Your resume is very important. In fact, your resume is like a question paper. What you add in your resume, exactly that they will ask you. And it is important to add what you know to your resume. And you don't want to add buzzwords and try to make your resume look attractive. Because I once did that, and in my interview, so I just added things like I know AI, I know blockchain, things like that. So the interviewer saw it, he was like, okay, AI night, I know AI as well. He's gonna start grilling me in-depth questions of AI. And instead of the iceberg, I added AI. So that did not go very well. That's when I realized that I should not add something if I don't really know it. I just knew like basics. And if you are at least like intermediate level, feel free to add it. And your resume should be very clean and neat. It should be one pager. Try to add your projects, your internships, your certifications, or any achievements that you have had, your skill sets, and that should be pretty much it. Try to keep it as clean as possible, and it should be a one-page resume showcasing your best of your skills and projects.
Right, got it. Like as you said, basic it's like a question paper. That means you are defining the syllabus for the interview or the exam. Like, okay, these are the things I know. Ask me around this, but there can be, of course, times when they will ask what else you know from this resume, or intentionally ask something which you don't know, just to see how things will be. But yeah, you have to be ready for that. And something my mentor had suggested was don't put everything in resume to be ready for this question. Other than resume, tell me something that you have done or no. Yeah.
And to add on to that, another thing that is important about your resume is, so generally you don't want to have just a single resume that you send to all the companies, apply to all the companies. You want to tailor it specifically to the requirements of that company. Say if a company is a networking company and they are coming to hire for some role, they will obviously try to find students who have a decent skill set in networking. So you go ahead and you show your projects that you have done in these concepts or your certifications in these concepts. If it is something to do with your front end or databases, then you update your projects and you have projects in your front end projects, your database projects, so that they know that, okay, that this guy has done something in these in this field, which might be a good fit for it, and you have a decent chance of being shortlisted. So just don't use one single resume and keep lying everywhere. Modify it slightly, tweak it to suit them.
Yeah, I wanted to tell something about that. Like people have to put more effort into this. Like it will take more effort, right? Doing multiple. Even I keep it in handy. If I'm applying for something inclined to data science or machine learning, I have a dedicated resume for that. And normal SD role, I have a resume for that with few extra details added or removed. So multiple resumes, it's common to have. If particular company newly it has come unexpected, one day before you have to update your resume according to that company. Get to know about the company in their about section, their requirement, whatever in the job description requirement is there, highlight those things more. So moving on, next question we want to discuss is about what preparation suggestions or tips you have for during interview, kind of related to mindset, nervousness.
Right. So during your interview, right, you want to be confident. You don't want to look nervous or you don't want to look scared. It is okay to be scared. Everybody is scared. Just try not to show it. Be confident and try to have a smiling face at all times. So, sometimes in your behavior rounds, they try to trigger you. They try their best to, you lose your control and you don't want to do that. You want to be confident, try to keep smiling and try to answer as much as you can. Take a pause. Don't immediately answer. Take a pause for 3 to 3 seconds. Think what you're going to speak and then speak. So you generally do not have to, try and answer like everything. If you just know even a little bit, answer it and move on ahead. What you can also do is sometimes maybe give mock interviews. Maybe ask your friends to do it, and then you take your friend's interview and you practice this, or reach out to maybe some senior who can do it for you. Doing mock interviews helps.
Right. And definitely they should treat those mock interviews as very seriously. Like just because it's a friend, they should not be like in casual where you have to still be dressed up formally, address him by sir. Until the meeting is over, he's a total stranger and take it serious interview. Any other pro tips or suggestions that you want to give?
Well, what I will tell you is you wanna start preparing for your first day of engineering, and you don't have to forget all out because you have a lot of time. Explore different things, try different things, try everything, see what you like, and be good at that. And while you're doing all of these things, you want to be consistent at it. Like do it every day, and try to participate in your hackathons, events, workshops as much as possible. Try to go to different colleges, meet people over there, build your network. Having a network is very important in your college. Because you are all going to be working at different companies in future, and you are all going to be of help to each other. So what I suggest is participate in events, fests, contests as much as you can, and always be consistent at what you're doing, and you will eventually get what you want.
Correct. Yeah. So like even for me, right, that helped a lot, like building a network. So sometimes like I saw coding club was not there. Like there was robotic clubs, aeronautical club and all, but I don't know, coding club was not there. And I think most of the time people try to make it a lot of political, like who will be the president, who is the founder, CEO, like that. But I try to, make it like just about the results. Like, we just don't need an infrastructure. We don't need big banners and advertisement. We just need to sit and code. I started simply hosting contests and putting them in WhatsApp group, and most of the times only I participated, and it was just about the process, right? Like later on my close friends got to know, okay, this is something we can do, this is the career path, and that's when I got to learn from them also something new things. They also learn from each other, and we were all able to crack good companies that way. So build your own community if it is not there already, and if required, go for hackathons out of station or contests out of station if required, and get that exposure on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Coming to, like we're all confident, no nervousness, we're ready for the day. What is the role of luck now?
Luck, I cannot deny that luck doesn't matter. Luck does matter, but that is just like 3 to 5% of it. Sometimes it's not your day. It's not your best day, maybe. Or sometimes the interviewer you get is, not very lenient on you. So luck plays a 5% role, I'll say, but everything else has to be your preparation. You cannot be like, oh, I'm not lucky and not. You cannot do that. You have to be absolutely prepared on your end. If things don't go your way, you gave your best. That it wasn't in your control. It did not go your way. So things that are in your control, be prepared, be good at it, and you'll be able to crack a job.
Got it. Yeah, I think this is also like, I try to see something more practical ways to practice this on a daily basis. Like many people usually worry about small things that are out of their control. So one tips that I saw in some video was make a list of things that you're worrying about and scratch out all the things that are out of your control. So this is like mentally make it permanent for you. Okay, these are not in my control. So only what is in my control, that's what I can do. So this is like, systematic process that they can do on a daily basis also, right? So that will become a habit. Eventually, they'll just focus on what they can control.
Correct. That is very important. Nice. I might be inspired as well.
Yeah. So I think we're towards the end. Like, want to share? Do you want to share any important highlights or experiences that you had throughout your career journey?
Well, I did have to sacrifice a few things. Like, you see, I used to have like small internships, like remote internships while I was in my college. And there's a committed time, right? There's work that you have to do and everything. So I used to kind of miss my classes a lot. And I used to make sure I have like 70% attendance and whatnot. But the days I used to attend my college, I used to like, as soon as classes are over, I used to like rush back to home. Like there are other people who are having fun around in the canteen, going out. I kind of miss that. I could not do that a lot in my college life. So yeah, that is something that I wish I could have, done, had a little more fun maybe. But yeah, it's all part and parcel of your my experience. So
like I would say that is the hardest part of the preparation journey. It's not about the actual preparation only. Like especially today, right? Being away from the distractions and what else you can do other than preparation, right? There are a lot of options that are easy to take. But it's not like we don't like to hang out with people or anything. Like people will think, okay, this kind of person, we want them, but we are trying to stay focused on our primary goals. After that, if you take out time, first we'll take time for our health, family well-being, and then friends maybe. So that's what we have to sacrifice sometimes. Even health also sometimes you have to sacrifice just to get that career path set, and then we can work on that other things.
I was in a very bad shape when I was in college. I used to like absolutely not pay attention to my health. But after I started, started working here in Bangalore, I'm like, it's been like a year I've been going to gym. I'm now in like the best shape of my life. And it is very important to take care of your health as well. So that is something that I ignored, which I'm not very proud of. So it is important to have a good sleep schedule, healthy diet, and maintain that balance.
Yeah. So once health is sorted, like, basically whatever effort we had put, things have paid off. So how is the life now? How is the dream life after having made it here?
It is really good, yeah. The people in the office are very nice. We have an amazing gaming area in the office where we have like 4 to 5 PS5s, like pool tables, chess, and I love the card games that we have. We have a car simulator as well. There are two simulator numbers. And whenever I get bored or something of work, I just go to the gaming area and I start playing. And it has been pretty good. Been to a couple of trips, met a lot of people, and yeah, life is better now comparatively.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're able to take a lot of time for watching anime also. I can see in the background posters. Like even I'm
Well,
an
yeah,
anime fan, like you can see I already put
that is
these kind of posters.
good. Wow. Okay. Nice. Well, I sort of have something similar as well. I mean, I love fiction, guys. I'm a huge fan of fiction. So if you talk about Marvel, DC, I will talk about anime. I love how beautiful these stories are, and I cannot stop wondering as to how can writers come up with such mind-blowing stories. It's really like, how can a human being think about such things?
Yeah.
You watch anime, you be like, what's gonna happen next, and something absolutely different happens, and that just blows your mind, and I love it.
Exactly. Okay, then Venkatesh, thank you for being with us.
Thanks to you for giving me the platform, Shashank.